Hello everyone, welcome to the fifth episode of Course Review with Kamath. In today's episode, I have with me Pragalbha Sudame, who is a student of TH Ingolstadt and is currently doing his M Engineering studies of International Automotive Engineering. So, I welcome you Pragalbha to this session and looking forward to get insights into your course.
Thank you, Kiran.
So, I think it would be a great start if you could briefly introduce yourself and let the viewers know where are you from, what were your prior experience in this domain before joining this course, and how did you arrive to this university?
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Pragalbha Sudame and I come from Maharashtra, India. So, I have pursued my Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering from SRM University in Chennai. And there I gained a specific interest in automotive engineering, where I was a part of Formula student team and I did build three cars and then I competed internationally. So I really got interested towards it. And then I was a finalist at an innovation contest, and due to that, they offered me a job as a design engineer in Pune. And there I worked with a global power generation leader for on 50-liter marine engines, so their CAD design and CAE and everything. So I was interested in computer aided design or something like that related to automotive field. And then I really found a gap in my skill set where I could see some projects running parallelly to my project in company related to CAD automation. And there I decided that my skill set is becoming obsolete and I need to reskill myself. So I thought the most in demand field at that time was automotive electronics or automotive software. And I started to look for courses in Germany. And then I applied for colleges like University of Rostock, Hochschule Stralsund, University Magdeburg, and Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt. So I got admit from three of them, and I chose THI because of its location in Germany, because southern part of Germany is more prosperous. You can get more working opportunities as a student, and yeah, and it also secures you a bit from a future perspective. Yeah. So that's why I chose this course.
That's a great introduction. Also, when I was looking courses in this domain, I observed that TU Kaiserslautern also offers one automotive course, and Hochschule Esslingen also has automotive systems development. The way I see it is you did not consider these two universities. And also TU Hamburg has a slightly mechatronics oriented course. So were there any particular reasons why you did not apply for these universities?
So first of all, I was applying for summer intake, and there are the number of courses are quite less. But I know like the Hochschule Esslingen also offers it in summer semester, but the intake requirements are quite strict.
Okay.
And I knew that I couldn't get through because they usually select toppers from every class, basically. And as far as I know, Hochschule Esslingen has a quota for every country, so they cannot exceed certain number. That's what I have heard.
So it was smart of you not to waste time on applying to those universities where you felt you would not probably get admission.
Yes. And also apart from admission, there was a fees in Baden-Württemberg
Okay.
instead of Baden-Württemberg. Yeah.
The next question from me would be to understand your course in depth. Could you briefly talk about each semester? How is the course structured at your university, and what exactly each subject offers to you as a student?
Okay, so this is a Hochschule course, so it comprises of 90 credits total. So 30 credits for each semester, which explains that the whole course duration is for 1.5 years. Nevertheless, if you need, you can extend your course by doing voluntary internship or working under a professor as a research assistant, or also doing your master thesis for prolonged time. apart from that, we have two specializations in our course.
Okay.
So, like one specialization is vehicle electronics and other is vehicle safety.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to inform your course coordinators in the first semester that you are choosing, you are going with this specialization. And if you attempt even a single exam with that specialization, you have to complete it. You cannot change it later on. So you have to be very good at that in the initial point.
Um, so basically, this is it at the start of the first semester or at the end of the first semester that you have to choose the core subjects that you want to get into?
So you choose at the beginning of semester, but you still have a choice that you have to appear for the exam or not. So in case even if you choose that, oh, I chose vehicle electronics and then I'm finding it tough, and then you try to drop it off, you can do it. Yeah, but you have to be like the first exam should be concrete. You cannot change after that if you get that. Yeah. And the way they differentiate between these two specializations is that you have to choose two subjects. So you have to choose one subject from your specialization and one is an elective. So elective can be from vehicle safety subject. That's possible. So that's the freedom that you get to mold your own course as you want. That's the good thing. So coming back to subjects, the first subject would be mathematical modeling and simulation. So that's the subject which teaches you how can you convert any physical system into a mathematical system, and then how can you design a system around it. So they will introduce you to different mechanical systems, thermal systems, some systems where fluids are interacting more, something like that. And then initially in my batch, the exam was theoretical, but now they have divided it into two parts. So you have a practical exam as well as a theory exam. But this is a unique thing about Germany that any professor can decide his own exam pattern. So if there is a new professor, maybe in next batch the exam pattern might be different. But they try to keep the course content similar. Yeah, they might add a bit. It is more of mathematics, like it would be revision of your engineering mathematics completely and how you apply it in system development. That's what they will try to teach you in that, and also the MATLAB software. Then second subject is vehicle dynamics. So this is more of a like mathematical or a theoretical subject where they will try to explain more about tires, suspension. They will not go into much detail about chassis and other systems. They would try to focus on things like what is the algorithm behind lane assist system or cruise control, all that, and how vehicle dynamics analysis is helping them to achieve that in an accurate way. So they try to teach you that modern approach with the vehicle dynamics name on it, but it's a good subject and a little tricky if you are from a electronics or electrical background. So then we have something called core subject from vehicle electronics. So the first subject would be, it depends on the semester you join. So if you are joining in winter semester, the first subject would be automotive control engineering. But if you join it in summer, the first subject would be automotive networks. So in that subject, they will try to teach you different communication systems used in cars. So like CAN, FlexRay, LIN, MOST, and then introduction to some modern topics like Car2X communication, then automotive cybersecurity, what are the current steps being taken and what are the future prospects, something like that. So you would get a very brief introduction into networking. Yeah, and onboard diagnostics part of car. Yeah, so then you have an elective, and I chose elective as automotive radar systems. So fortunately, the teacher from that subject was actually leading radar domain in Continental, and he used to come every once a week to teach us about it. And it's a very interesting subject, seeing the demand for the product and the career prospects in it. So I would really recommend to take that subject if you get into course. Then there is a compulsory subject. called automotive electronics.
Mm-hmm.
And this subject is particularly aimed for students who come from mechanical background, who really don't have much knowledge. And there they will try to introduce you to every aspect of electronics in the car. And it's a very lengthy, detailed subject, but they try to put it in one thing. So, like content would be ranging from software development to electronics, but it is very basic.
Okay.
Second semester has a course called a CAX Techniques in Automotive Engineering. So what CAX means is like CAD, CAM, CAE. So that X stands for everything which is possible in computer-aided techniques. And there they are focusing on thermal and CFD simulation of electric components or electronic circuits, because that is the part where more research is going on. Because you are also a student from DDM and you know that
Yeah.
structurally not much can be done in mechanical design, like
Yes.
because of the new technologies what we have. So they focus on that, and that is a very good point. And they do a lot of projects with industries, so they have a lot of projects internally going on. So something with radars or maybe batteries or cameras, stereo cameras,
Mm-hmm.
and then they try to teach you how could you simulate it in different climatic conditions and all that kind of things. So you learn a lot in this if you are from electrical background or
Okay.
electronics background. It's quite like you develop a multi-dimensional skill set. You already have a know-how of PCB design, and that you also have a know-how of mechanical design. Yeah. So that's the first subject. Then we come to the core powertrain. So powertrain will have a very little contribution towards ICE and the traditional combustion engines. Some more details about maybe transmission and all, but it would be more focused on hybrid and electric vehicles and the component selection. How would you develop a hybrid system around it? What kind of performance characteristics, etc. And the exam is quite difficult and tricky for this subject, I would say. Yeah, it's like you need to know numerical aspect of it also as well as the theoretical aspect of it. And it is little different when you try to compare it with our Indian numericals and
Okay.
German numericals, because professors really try to incorporate real situations and real graphs while asking question. So you need to do a lot of things. Okay. So then we come to elective.
Mm-hmm.
In elective, I chose a vehicle safety subject again. So this subject was more related towards sensor technology and signal processing. So sensor technology is quite traditional, but they also try to teach you new techniques in manufacturing. But the more new part and useful part for a mechanical engineer is the signal processing part, because you could easily get the skills what are needed for a test engineer or a developer or a or an ECU development, for example. You know how to work with signals. And you also learn some basics about how they are trying to implement autonomous driving, uh, advanced driver assistance systems using those techniques, yeah, in this subject. So this is also a very good subject in my opinion. Um, in core area, we had subject called power distribution.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, it is like more of a electrical subject. So like you had design of inverters, design of DC-DC converters, and we were using softwares for from linear technology
Mm-hmm.
like Spice, it's called, which is done for steady state analysis of circuits. So this was one difficult subject, I would say, for me personally also, because there was a lot to learn, and but it's very useful in a long term if you are planning to work for electric vehicle industry particularly. Then, when you are done with all these subjects, there is something called group project, what
Okay.
they give you. And the unique thing about group project in THI is that you have 5 months and you need to design, you need to fabricate, and you need to test your project. So you always have topics which are really related to industry, like core research work. So I can give you some examples of what topics we had and then what topic I worked on.
Okay.
So first example would be like they wanted to build a mobile battery bank for your own mobiles and small home appliances using recycled lithium cells. So which batteries are at their end of life in EV cars, you then repurpose it. So those guys developed a whole battery pack and then the testing and everything. Then second topic was related to digital twin and where you have those tier scooters in Berlin and in I think in Munich also you have them a lot where you can pay per ride. So in order to do a traffic analysis for vehicle safety, like what is the threat to pedestrians, they were trying to do that in Unity. They were simulating it in game engine. So you have like a very wide spectrum to choose of project. And my project was regarding airbags. So we were focusing on a challenge where there are neck injuries due to airbags. And we developed a fabric-based capacitive sensor, which would be put inside the airbag. And then how we could control pressure inside the bag itself. So it was quite cutting edge project which we got the chance to work on. And then the last is your master thesis. I mean, there you have a chance to put in all the knowledge you got in all these things. So in project, you will get the knowledge about finances and project planning and everything. And that will help you in thesis as well as team working projects. Yeah.
I think that was a great overview, and it was in depth as well. I think for sure anyone in future who would want to get into this course need not ring a call to any of the seniors and just have a look at this video and get all the insights that they are looking for. My next question would be, what are the career options that one can look for after finishing this course?
So it really depends upon what kind of specialization you are doing on. If you are going to take vehicle safety, the course would be simpler for you, but then the career options would be little limited. Your career options would be somewhere like a developer of ADAS systems, like automotive software developer, or you could be a tester of software. So those are like the things. So like it is little limited. You won't be able to design new systems because you really don't have a system background of other subjects. You only know like if you have a system, how can you make it safe, or if you know the regulations, you know how to bring it back or you know how to check it. But it's not really a big deal to do that because if a development engineer is going to develop a system, then he is going to refer the standards and he will try to keep his system within those limits. So the roles are very limited, and here what comes into play is your previous career experience. So if you have a career experience where you were a software developer or you were a designer, then you can really get into good opportunities. But if you're trying to go get a good job as a fresher with this background, then it would be little challenging. But of course, there are alternative routes to pursue it. If you have zero experience, you can do a research assistant under your professor. Use that experience to get an internship in a relevant background, and then use both of those experiences for getting a job. For vehicle electronics, you have more options. So, like you will get into core R&D, core powertrain development, algorithms for autonomous driving, systems engineering, etc. So you would really get to do your dream job if that is the thing.
So my next question would be, since I see this as an international automotive course, what is the class composition in this particular course?
So class composition is like we have 35 students every semester, and I think across 13 to 14 students would be from India. That's for sure. And then maybe three or four students from neighboring countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan. And then remaining would be from countries like Mexico, Brazil, and Turkey, like the countries which they have technical partnership, something of that sort. So students come from those. And our batch also had students from Egypt and Canada as well.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's basically a diverse set of students in the course.
Yes, it's a diverse. It's also partly because the kind of requirements you have for the course. That's why you don't have students from every part of the.
And so the next important questions from an Indian's perspective is what is the CGPA requirement? Basically, I mean there won't be a hard cut number for this, but with your experience, what would you think about this?
So, if you just are speaking about my course, the entry requirements are little different from other courses.
Mhm.
First of all, like the whole application process is based on Primus portal, which is a separate applicant portal. And for our course, we don't need SOP or LOR letters.
Okay.
We need a CGPA of minimum of 8.5
Mm-hmm.
because cutoff is almost 1.6 for every batch.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't only consider your CGPA from your bachelor's. That's a part of your aptitude what they conduct. So it is divided into some parts. So like first they will ask you a relevant work experience for minimum of 8 months, which should be related to mechatronics or mechanical something like that. It could be even a work ex for service center. They don't care, but you should not be working in IT industry. That's what they want. And then you should have a separate bachelor project. Apart from that, you should have a published research work in automotive field and a automotive project. So like something like Formula Student or Go-Kart project, something like that. As a letter of reference, they only need a work experience certificate from your manager, from your reporting manager. He has to sign it. And though that letter should consist of your daily tasks, like what technical tasks you have done. And based on that, they also give you 30 extra credits, which will be helpful to you if you want to pursue PhD directly from this degree. So I think the minimum CGPA of 8.5 is the answer for your question.
So
Yeah. But
basically,
you have to also consider these things.
yeah, basically the way I see it is it's slightly different from other universities like Esslingen or Stuttgart, wherein they don't uh, look too much into the work experience. And I know
Yes.
also students who get admission without any prior work experience. So basically, it rules out. These cases are ruled out in your particular this course.
Yes, because they try to focus on that kind of alumni where only experienced candidates are interacting, and it also helps you the kind of network you build later on because everyone has worked and they have certain experiences. It helps you, it guides you in some way.
From what I have heard, also TH Ingolstadt has a partnership with various companies in and around. Could you briefly give an overview on this?
So Ingolstadt is a industrial hub, and it is due to big presence of Airbus and Audi, briefly. And then the other industries around it are the supplier industries. So companies like Continental, Siemens Automotive. Then you have some small companies who are developing software in nearby towns. They necessarily have a partnership for doing projects, various research projects within the company. They help in setting up various labs, and they also offer master thesis. But correlating it with the fact with the job availability, it is not correct because it is still in rural part of Germany, and the language requirement is quite strict. You need to have a language of B2, and then the doors are open for you for jobs.
So, I think with this, more or less, all the information that one would be looking for is covered. So, to summarize, I would like to know from you who should be looking for this course, with what idea can one apply for this course, and basically, what I want to know is who who should not be also applying for this course.
So first I would go who should apply for this. So students who are focusing on changing their background, like who know or who are aware that mechanical background would not be good for them, they should try to apply here. And also one more fact, there is a very buzzing word called Industry 4.0. So this is the initial level or the initial course which you could do if you want to transition into that skill set, because there is a really good mixture of electronics, electrical, and information technology. So you can really you can really change your career with that. And students who should not apply this course, I would say EC students, electronics and communication electronics, students who have already worked on software part of this industry, they should really not apply because they will not really gain anything from the course. They should opt for TU Chemnitz, automotive software course, or I think there are other courses in PGU Magdeburg which are more concerning to digital engineering, more towards that phase.
So, with this, we are coming to the end of this session. I would like to thank you, Pragalbha, for your time and wonderful insights into this course. So, I hope that this information help a lot of students who would like to join this university and this particular course. With this, we are coming to the end of this session. Thank you, Pragalbha.
Thank you, Guru.
So, also, I would like to ask all the viewers who have watched till the end, if you like the content, please like the video and also write it in the comment section so that it gives us additional motivation to make more such videos with other university courses. And also, please subscribe to the channel and also share the content with the other students who are looking for similar info. Thank you one and all, and see you soon.